So, so by a show of hands, number one, show of hands. Let's start way at the bottom. Show of hands. How many of you just have like no credit, just none? Like you've never had a credit card. Maybe you're young, and you can do, I believe, like raising your hand. You can't do that, or just say me. Say if you can't do that. And let's see. I think we're allowed to raise our hands, but all right. So maybe that's just not the case. Oh no, we did have somebody, but it doesn't say who. Sean. Well, how could you have bad credit if you have no credit? All right, you're just going to raise your hand. Raise hand is under reactions. You're purchasing a business February 1st. Is this something that will be beneficial to open for the business for travel and rewards? I think you'll get the gist of how the system works to the point that you're probably just going to want to. You're going to see the benefit to do that. So yeah, I think so. So it works on the business for business as well. Business being a separate entity or a separate line of credit that you can get. Okay. All right. So, but I really want to start at the very bottom. Okay. So like, some of you are going to go like, oh yeah, well, duh, okay. But for some people, not everybody knows this. And for me, in my 20s and my early 30s, I didn't know this. So I was one of the dumb ones. So when I you hear about credit unless you have like the right parents that teach you, which is really rare with anything, right? You don't know, and so you hear from friends and this or that, and so when you're starting out, you think credit is the ability to have more money on tap that you can pay off, that you can use to buy things that you can't normally afford, and now you can afford them because you just got extended line of credit, on credit cards, okay? And you can just pay them little by little, like 50 bucks a month, 100 bucks a month for the next 10 years, and you'll be all right? Or 5 years, and you pay it off maybe a little bit extra here and there, right? But that credit, that's, I think in the beginning, that's what people think credit is it's this ability to gain the ability to buy more stuff. Okay? How many of you actually like kind of feel like that's really what you think that is, credit? Because trust me, I did for 20 years, for 15 years, from like age 15 to age 35. So don't feel embarrassed if that's what you feel. So like I'm asking who has heard, who's been told, who thinks that credit is all about being able to tap into more money. Yeah. So really what you want to do is not think that at all. It's there, it can be there for an emergency or for protection, and you don't even really want to get in that situation ever. And it just should be a mental line you just do not cross. Uh, when you get your credit cards, you want to make sure that they're not only paid off before the statement gets sent out, before the period, okay, to zero, but you actually even want to pay them off the next day, every day. You just want to pay them off every day because they do accrue interest from from the time of point of sale, until the statement hits. They accrue interest. It accrues interest from that moment you purchase things. Some cards can be different about that, but that's usually the case for if you're starting out. And the reason is the following. Bad credit starts when you have a statement that hits you and therefore hits the credit bureaus that shows that you're using more than 10% of your available credit. That's probably going to be shocking to some of you. Sean, did you know that? I saw some people just left. They're like, this is going to be really basic. Sean, you did not know that, right? Is that crazy or what? You're never going to improve your credit score. Right. No, totally. No. Has to be 10% or lower if you want to start to see increases going on. If you start to do these tweaks and start to do all the different things I'm about to tell you, you're going to see your points go up like 50 points in 1 week. It's going to be insane when you start to get this under control. You have been getting destroyed. Your credit has been, it's been sad, like for me, like for 20 years, from 15 to age 35, I did not know. And I had good credit because I had so much credit. I had way more credit than I needed. But I didn't know that the reason I had good credit was because my debt on those had not gotten too out of hand. I had about 20,000 in debt, which is absolutely fucking horrible. Okay. But I had like 150,000 in credit lines open. So there you see, it was like, 15%. It was like pretty low. So I had a score like 830 in those days. What I didn't realize was that when was all that debt that was piling up was turning into payments that were getting bigger and bigger. And eventually it does get you after 10 or 20 years. Eventually you're like, shit, man, I'm paying $1,300 a month on all this, and there's going to be a month where you can't make it because now you got a house, you got kids, you see what I'm saying? Like eventually that was the wrong way to manage your credit because it's eventually going to hit. And then they're going to start closing accounts on you. And now what? Now you have that 40 to 50% situation. Okay, so Percival asks a good question here. Is there something in terms that talks about that 10% threshold? Um, it's just what people who are credit card experts and credit card repair experts and credit card hack experts uh, understand is the right limit. But listen, that's the max, okay? You don't even want that. Like I think Nicole, if she's still here, yeah, if you're with me, you probably agree with me that you want to actually get those down to zero all the time. Okay. So your credit is actually not going to be to give you more money. That's not what you're going to use credit for anymore. And you need to start like just paying those down. You even might get a personal loan, or if you have extra money or stock market money, whatever, you're going to start to be better off by just getting rid of all that. But I want to tell you right now, so in case anyone cuts out right now, like if that's all they learned, like, okay, shit, I'm going to pay everything off. Okay, don't do the following. Do not close those accounts. Don't close any account that you have open because you want the amount of credit you have to be very high and the amount of utilization to be actually the perfect point is 0.5%, but 0%. Okay. So, a lot of people will tell you zero, but even the expert, like the guru level, is to have about 0.5% utilization. That can be like $100 or $1,000 for somebody with 100,000 or $1,000,000 worth of credit, so a very small amount. In any event, the best thing I can tell you as a beginner, 0%, okay? Just focus on 0%. You're going to automatically, accidentally have 0.5% every month. Trust me, like something, paying the bill off on time is going to cross over. It's going to happen. So let's focus on 0%. All right. So, but Percival, you asked, where does that come from? So there's like these gurus and these experts at credit repair and all this, and they do know people that work at Experian and work at TransUnion and work at Equifax, and they do know how those algorithms all work and the Vantage score, and they understand everything that happens in their systems because they know those people. They know 100% how that works. And what you can do is you can go to what's it called? So this is why I pulled this up. I think it's called Doctor of Credit. So on your journey of learning more about this, you want to go to Doctor of Credit. And there is a first place to definitely start to learn. It's like resources. There's the knowledge base. And you can read more about what people are saying about all that. But if you really want to start to dive really deep, you might look up like hashtag credit hacks. Okay, that's kind of what like credit hacks would be what it is. But this, as a foundation, these are like some extra resources for you. But as a foundation, like number one, I'm getting you way on track. Like that first comment that I've made here, don't use more than 10% of your entire utilization, and don't close any cards once you've zeroed them out. Do not close them, keep them open. You're going to see such a massive boost in your score so fast. It's going to be life-changing for you, because then you're going to be able to go on this other journey, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit here as well. So you want to start doing the whole, you've probably heard it before, like cashback rewards, right? I'm sure you guys have heard that. Cashback rewards with the credit cards. How many of you have heard of the cashback rewards and heard it called that? I think some of you that maybe even don't have a credit card probably have heard about that, you know? Well, number one thing you want to realize is that the actual literal cash back reward is the worst reward that you can get for your spending. Okay, but it's cool. I mean, it's great. I mean, you can convert it to cash. You're just going to get like way less than if you were to get like airplane tickets, hotels, rental cars, food, restaurants, everything else. You're going to get less reward leverage for your spending if you get cash. You can get cash back, but you don't want to be hunting necessarily for cashback rewards. You want to be hunting for rewards. Let me see your question. Was this, I always heard it was a bad thing to have credit card at zero. I was told you should have 30% used so your credit can go up. No, Daniel. Yeah, insane, but yeah. And it can be amazing. I don't know how old you are, Daniel, but it can be amazing. We can go decades with the wrong information. And our credit can be just doing well because we've been managing it for decades, even though it's been stressful. You're 37, so see what I mean? Like that could be 20 years you've heard the wrong information. No, you're going to do great at zero. What they probably got mixed up, whoever told you that, or the multiple people who, there's so many myths out there that are incorrect, is that they probably thought don't have zero credit. Right? That makes sense. So you want lots of credit, but you want zero utilization for your score to go through the roof. Okay, so we've got that cleared up, right? Is everybody 100% on that? Okay, that's like a rock solid foundational principle here. And then I'll tell you that one exception, which is about the 0.5%, okay? But this is like, like beyond all the other stuff I'm going to tell you, and it's all the way at the end. It's like the expert thing, like a final little tip, okay? Is that you want to have one of your cards, just one out of all, like let's say you had 20 or 50 cards, and I'll tell you why that's a good thing. You've probably been told that's crazy, because we've seen it like on like Married with Children or something, and the wife opens up the wallet and there's 400 credit cards, or it's like, oh, I'll take this one, right? And there's just this negative stigma around that sounds like a really bad idea, because it sounds like you're going to spend more, right? Okay, hang on. Quick question. So if someone was going to do this, are we looking for a card with a low APR, or does that really matter since we're doing 10% and paying it off? Right. The APRs really don't matter much, but when your credit starts to go up, your APRs go down anyway, and you can call out this is a whole long, that's a question we can get into later. Let me continue on the foundation here. There's probably 100 to 1,000 tips you could learn. There's no way I can go over them all right now. Yeah, but you're right. So that expert tip is that, let's say you have 15 cards at a certain point, because I'm going to tell you how to get there. Like, you're probably thinking, crazy, why would you have so many cards? We'll get to that point in a minute. But all the way down that line, let's say you have lots of cards. You want to have one of them. Let's say you had like 20 accounts open. You want them all to be zero every month, but one of them you want to have that 10% utilization on. That's the perfect trick right there. So that'd be like 0.2%, right? So if you had 20 cards and you did 10% utilization on one of them, I don't know what the math is, maybe I'm off, but I think that's actually 0.5%. Okay, so that's the real final trick to that, because you don't want to use more than 10% of your total credit line across all the cards. Okay, all right, but just don't, like, if any of you don't even have a credit card yet, or you got a credit card and you do pay it off or something, just be careful. Don't let it get insane. Start paying that down, get it down, get back to zero. Do a personal loan if you can, sell some things. Get the most important thing in your life is step one going to be to get those things down to zero, because you can't take the next steps here until your credit score starts going up. Okay, because like Nicole, she's still here. No, oh no, she's still here. You have your hand raised still, Nicole. I don't know if that means you have a question, but maybe not. But Nicole already knew about the Sapphire Preferred. I forget the name of the card, but that is like a card that you can only get when you have like incredible credit and a lot of age, a lot of credit history, a lot of age. So Percival asked a question. So multiple cards, and we rotate at least one a month to 10%. Just keeping it simple in my head. Yeah, but that's at the point in which you've already proven that you're a credit card master. And now you're like, you know what? I'm ready to squeeze the juice, the final bit of juice out of this. I'm going to start to keep 10% on one card. Okay. So think of it that way. Okay. First of all, I don't want to get you in trouble first. Yeah. Okay. I just want you to understand that that's one of the pinnacle goals. Okay. No, you're the big man. All right. How tall are you, Percival? I'm 5'7" at this point from sitting in my chair all the time. 6'2". All right, you're the big man. All right. Anyway, all right. So listen, that's the first step, and that's going to start to improve your score. And you got to start working on getting that shit down to zero, whether it's a personal loan or using your stock market money to get that off, whatever you can do. Just think of it this way. I mean, let's say you have maybe 10,000 in debt right now. When you pay that off, just tell yourself at least one positive benefit is that now you don't have to pay like $200 a month, $250 a month anymore. And if you divide that by $10,000, that's not, I'm just doing rough math here. That's probably not it. You have to do your own math. But that means in like 2 years, you would have saved the money that you were spending every month. It like completely, that's the break even point, right? It actually, some credit cards, like if your credit's bad, some credit cards are probably charging you so much interest that if you were to pay them off, you would break even. Your break even might be like in a year or a year and a half. So it's you can tell yourself that's one of the positive benefits to asking for a loan from a personal friend or using your stock market money or whatever it takes to get that flush down to zero. All right, so listen. So the next step after that, and you can kind of simultaneously do some of this. If you have bad credit, okay, the next step, once you start to get back down to zero, or when you're ready to start improving your credit and push forward more, is you need to get more cards. Okay, so that's, kind of like the frame of where we're talking about now, more cards. Okay, but obviously there's an expert way to do that as well. So let's start at the very bottom, the worst case scenario. If you have bad credit, you can get what are called secured cards. I actually want to talk about, I want to be careful. I want to talk about something that's important in the getting more cards before we even get to that. So you don't just go out and blow your chances. So the Chase, which is Nicole was talking about this, Chases have something called the 524 rule, which means they won't give you one of their cards if you've applied for more than 5 credit cards in the last 24 months. And the Chase are the best. If I were to proceed this with talking about the rewards programs, and we were in that frame and we're talking about rewards, you'd see why. And I'll show you why in a few minutes here. So, but you should understand that Chase is the ultimate goal and American Express, okay? And you'll find out why when I explain it a little bit more. That is correct. Uh, yes, Nicole says, I think I read that Chase can see if you opened others' accounts and they count those as well. No, 100% yes, absolutely. You are correct. If you start inquiring into getting other cards and you do more than five and they're like important cards, but they're not secured cards or they're not department store cards, that kind of stuff, but they're, some of the ones that Chase would care about, you won't be able to get the Chase card for 2 years. And the reason why you want to get the Chase card is because of rewards, and we'll talk about why in a little bit here. Uh, but where was I? So you were talking about, yeah, so the 524 rule is that. So that's why it's very important that the first few cards you get to start improving your credit, because there's no way you're going to be able to get a Chase card with like less than like a 780 credit score. And even then, it's because of credit history and maybe hard inquiries and other aspects of your credit report. They might be like, no, we're just going to not do you. Thank you. You might even need to have like an 810, 820 in order to get the Chase cards. If you don't have like a whole bunch of other stuff accompanying your lower like 780 score. It sucks to think that 780 is a low score. It's not. That's a great score. But for Chase cards, the most incredible rewards cards you can get, and Amex cards, yeah, that's where it's at. So with that said, be careful about just going on a blitz. Don't just start inquiring to open all these cards, like do like 20 hard inquiries, because every hard inquiry like that will negatively affect your credit score by, it can be 30 points sometimes. So it can be 5 to 30 points. It depends. They can start to parabolically escalate, just like just like stock options, right? So if you want to reach getting the Chase card maybe within the next 2 years, you do not want to be doing five. You do not want to get more than five credit cards before you, maybe on that fifth one, you give it a try and get your one of the Chase cards. You see what I mean? Is it recording? Oh, you're welcome, Susie. Thank you. That's a very nice comment. Yeah, it is recording, but this is very informal. I don't know if I'll post this. Okay, I will, but I'm going to type into it that this is not a structured class right now. This is totally off the top of my head. This is seriously life-changing info, because not only will this increased credit score just activate some things for you in life, like being able to get really, really low interest rate car loans, really, really low interest rate mortgages, so you can buy a house, et cetera, et cetera. So that's obvious. Like that's one of the benefits of having high scores. But you're actually going to get back some of the money that you spend every year in a plethora of ways. It can be between 5 and 10% of the money that you spend per year will come back. Okay, so we were talking about the 524. Okay, so I'm piecing together a huge like way to tell you all the next different frames here. Okay, so now if you have bad credit, you want to get yourself one really good secured credit card, because a secured credit card you get approved for. And what is a secured credit card? Maybe some of you don't know, and that's fine. Don't worry about it. Like you don't. This is an unknown world that you're about to become an expert at. A secured credit card is where you actually give them the money that they're going to give you, that they're going to lend you. You give them the money they're going to lend you. Now, let's say you did that, like maybe you did 500 bucks. You can even just do 100 bucks, okay? And it will improve your credit. You can do that. But it's harder with those cards because they have higher APRs, and they have a little fee here, a little fee there. And a $100 card is going to reach limits much faster. So something like 500 if you're starting out, or 400, 300. Or, if you can afford it, give them $1,000 and use that. But it doesn't need to be super huge, and I'll tell you why in a second here. Uh, but the one thing you want to, and I hope you're going to take some of these notes. The one thing you want to make sure, if you get a secured card, and actually technically everyone could benefit by adding a secured card. It's another card. Like, in case you don't want to get um, another card because of like the inquiry aspect of it, you could just get a secured card. You're auto approved, so it's not going to ding your credit. So there's a benefit for anybody to get secured cards. But here's the thing: when you search for secured cards, so now we're looping down into the secured cards section of this presentation. Not all of them report to all of the credit card bureaus, and many of them don't report to the credit card bureaus. So can you imagine that? You're trying to build your credit, so you get yourself a secured credit card because your credit's bad, or you're starting out and you just want one and you want to be 100% approved, so you get one, and it does nothing for you because it's not being reported to the credit bureaus. So you have to figure out which ones are being reported to the credit bureaus. And I'm not sure if this is the website that we're on now, but let me check here. Credit cards, secured credit cards. There you go. Can you guys see? So it says best secured credit cards. There's Visa, American Express, and MasterCard secured credit cards. So ask the creditor if they report to the big boys before you get a secured card. Got it. Yes. And because these things change all the time, you have to go to this site. Because it's always in flux. Like, literally, when you go to the homepage of the site, they're streaming tips, like rewards programs, or shit, American Express just came up with a new card, or this or that, that secure card, whatever, no longer reports to the credit bureaus. So like you literally have to come here when you're doing this, and then on top of that information could be a day old or half a day old, and then. So what Percival said is important. Ask. So if you can, get on the phone call with them and ask them if they report to the credit card bureaus. All right. So over here on best secured cards, you can start learning about this. Look at this. So let's see. Credit information shared. See this? Credit information shared, and then it says all three. These are all secured credit cards that report to all three credit bureaus. So it looks like they've limited it to only those ones. So that's good. There's a whole bunch to choose from there. Now, you want if any of you are younger and you have no credit and you want to get your first credit card, I recommend, and it is highly recommended by the experts, that your first credit card be one that doesn't have an annual fee. And why does that make sense? Because when you start to become an expert at this, like let's say a year from now, you're just an absolute master at this, you're going to go through your 25 cards that you just got this year, and you're going to go, hey, which ones am I paying like $100 a year on? And you're going to just close those. You will. And so if 35 here and you never use it, whatever, you're going to end up closing those. You'll see why, because after you're a master at this, you probably would. So if I guess I skipped over something about age, credit age and history, length of time affects your credit. The longer you've had credit, the better it is for you. And so if you choose a card now, right at the beginning, that has an annual fee, you're probably likely to close that. And so that sucks, because that's going to be your longest running history record. When you close that, boom, your history disappears on your credit reports. And now you're like a newbie again, unless you have other cards. Does that make sense? So, so you want to basically get if you're beginning, you want to get like two secured credit cards. One is one that will actually convert. They have ones that will convert into a regular credit card in a certain amount of time, whether it's 6 months or a year. It'll convert into a regular credit card. You start secured, but then after several months, 6 months, it'll convert to a regular credit card, and that'll have a lot of benefits. It'll show that it's not a secured card, and it'll impact your score more positively. So, but those ones that convert typically have a annual fee, right? But that's okay, because if you're trying to build your credit, then this is something that's going to be worthwhile for you. You don't want to be getting a secured card now that doesn't convert, except if it has no annual fee. You see what I mean? So that's why probably 2 cards to start with secured are your best. And you want to have them have good reward situations, so that all the spending you're about to do on these cards is rewarded, and you get kickbacks in various ways. Once you start to get those kickbacks, you're going to go, man, I should have been doing this a lot earlier. And it gets really crazy what you can do with your credit card. For instance, I'll bet, I mean, it makes sense, but I'll bet some of you didn't realize this. Let's say you had a $500 limit on one of these, on any of your cards. Let's say you had a $500 credit card. Okay. You may think, oh, okay, well, I'm only going to get, okay, you multiply by that by 12, right? That's $6,000 of potential spending per year. You're thinking, okay, it's a $500 credit card. I max that out each month, and I pay it off right at the end of the month, and I can get $6,000 of rewards from that. Let's say it's a 2 or a 3% reward program, right? So that's $180 or something. Actually, you could pay $500 every day and pay it off the next day. So you could actually do $15,000 worth of spending per month on that card. 30 days. I'm just like being, in theory. 30 days times 500 is $15,000, times 12 is, you could do about $180,000 worth of spending on a $500 limit credit card per year. So you don't, so let's say, and then you can, if you have a program that is paying you better than 3% rewards, which some of them do, depending on like little perks here and there, you can actually get that, like ultimate rewards from Chase. You can convert into miles at 1.25x your rewards. So that changes the 3% of like 5%, but they already give you 4%. So in any event, what I'm about to tell you is that you could pay like your rent with a company called Plastique. It allows you to use your credit card to pay your rent, but it costs 2.99%, okay? But the difference you'll make in rewards, if you have some card that you just swipe that with, that pays more than 2.99%. And so that kind of brings me to one of the goals. There are different cards that are better for different categories of spending. Okay, let's see. Best cards for, let's see if it will show me here. Yeah, actually, there we go. Best cards for everyday purchases. So it's like general spending. That would include your rent and anything else that doesn't fall into one of these categories. Best cards for restaurant spending. And what they mean by that is the ones that give you the most percentage back. So if you get like a card that's best for general use, let's say you pay your rent with that one, because eventually it works out to be about 4 or 5% cash back, 4 or 5% rewards back. It may not have very good on groceries. It may give no rewards on groceries. It may give 1%, and that sucks. So guess what you got to do? You got to get one of the cards that has the best reward for groceries. All right. So now I think you're starting to piece together what happens here. You start to get a card that has the maximum rewards for each category of spending you do in your life. They have cards that give you, there's situations where if you have Cash App, mind blown, Percival said, I told you this is going to be life fucking changing for some of you. Cash App, if you have Cash App, it has a, sometimes 10 to 20% rewards back on something. They call them boosts. So if you get Cash App even right now, that's not even a credit card you have to be approved for, and they give you rewards. And you can invest in the stock market in Cash App, by the way, too. It's kind of an extra bonus. But if you can get, they have like right now, they have 10% cash back on grocery store. So next time you go to the grocery store, on top of getting 100, Percival, you ready to get your mind really blown? Get ready for this. If you download Cash App right now Or if you have Cash App, you will see in there on the credit card aspect of it, because you get a free debit card with Cash App. Make sure you activate it. You can get a 10% grocery purchase boost. So you're like, oh, okay, I buy $60 of grocery. That's not really going to help me. No, 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 no. Hang on. But check the fine print for what the limits are. But you can go to the grocery store. Let's say you spend $100 on grocery, and then maybe because you want to max that 10% reward back, you buy $200 worth of groceries that week. Okay. But let's say there's no way you could ever do that. It's just like $100 of groceries. That's all that can fit into your fridge, whatever, right? At the checkout counter, well, I'm going to see if you can figure this out. I'm going to see if you can figure this out before I even explain it to you. And anyone who knows, don't say it. But when you go to the grocery store, the way the credit card bureaus recognize that as a grocery store is because that's how they're registered as a merchant with their credit card, merchant. Okay, they have to choose. There's these categories they have to choose. So they choose grocery. All right. So here's where the hacking gets really cool. What if at the grocery store they have something else kind of expensive that you need and you buy it there instead? All right, Percival's starting to put this together. So let's say you get that 10% cashback reward from Cash App. You go to the grocery store, you get your groceries, but you could go so far as to then at that moment, grab some of those like Amazon gift cards at the checkout counter. And depending on how much you spend on Amazon for the rest of the year, if you know you're going to spend $1,000 on Amazon, pick up a bunch of those $100 Amazon cards, load them up, pay for them right then and there from your bank account, right? You're going to get 10% back on those Amazon cards. They cost 2.96% to load, but you're going to make 7%. You're going to make 7% back on that. And then you have those cards, you can use them all year long. They register as grocery because that's how the merchant categorizes everything in the entire store. That property line, like everything is free game in that store for you to be categorized as grocery when you go there. So now I wanted to tell you this whole rewards part of it after. You probably can start to see why I told you this after making sure that you get these down to zero every day, right? The next day, the next morning, you got to pay them down to zero. So what that tells you is you don't actually ever want to be spending more than you normally spend in life with your credit cards. But what you want to do is you want to spend everything that you normally spend in life on your fucking credit cards. So you can start to get all the rewards bonuses, and you're going to get free flights. You're going to get hotels, rental cars, all these free. By the end of the year, the amount of spending that you have, you'll have maybe 20 to 40 domestic flights, because when you sign up for some of these cards, some of these good ones, you get like 3 to 4 domestic round trip flights as a bonus just for signing up. Just for signing up. So when you activate some of these much better cards, you're already coming out the gate with a whole bunch. They give you 60,000 miles, 80,000 miles just for opening up their credit cards. Not some of the lower ones, but as you start to build your credit, you're going to start to get that. So now what you got to think is, wait a minute, this is very interesting, because like last year, every year of my damn life, when my bank account hit very low and I wasn't paying attention, and AT&T or Spectrum hit me for those, or utility bills, everything that was on auto pay hit me, I got a non-sufficient fund for dipping below zero. How many of you have ever got hit by NSF funds? I know you do. I can't be the only one. Am I the only one with leeches? Did you ever see that? Life Aquatic? I'm lucky in that you never did that. One year I had $1,800 in non-sufficient funds. See, Jedi says me. It happens. It's not even embarrassing. It's you should be proud about it, because you're about to fucking beat the system. So here's what you do. You want to octopus like tentacle together all the categories of your spending into those different cards that you're going to have, each with the maximum rewards for that particular category, but you're going to hook in all of those different expenses to the credit cards. Okay? And then at the end of every day or the beginning of the next day, however, you're going to pay those off with your bank account. So the bank account's no longer ever going to get hit. You're not even going to be using your bank account anymore to spend money. Do you see what I mean? All of the money that you spend from chat, looks like I missed good info. I had a call. Oh, hey, Nicole. All the money you spend this year, you're going to, including your taxes, you're going to figure out how you're going to do it with these different categories of credit cards, because you're going to get all these maximized rewards. Now, I will tell you this, the amount that you're spending on these cards and then you bring it back to zero is not going to affect your credit. Okay, so don't get in the trap thinking that, oh, my credit's going to go up if I keep spending. The only reason you want to do the keep spending part is for the rewards. Okay, the credit card bureaus are not going to see that you spent lots of money. They're only get the statement balance and utilization with the credit limit at the end of the month. That's the info they get. They will have no idea that you've been spending. Some people are under the mistaken myth impression that if you're spending and you're paying off like every day, that's going to be really, really good, you know? Damn, I should have asked to be live with you in the beginning. I know spreads, but I'll admit that credit is absolutely a shortfall of mine. You know, I mean, we can't know it all, man. And I only learned this over the last few years. So, but it's been life-changing. And it's going to be life-changing for you, as I think you're starting to piece together. Look, if you didn't take advantage of any of your rewards and you knew you could get back about probably on average 5% rewards if you really game the system properly, and you take your annual spending and you turn that into 5%, I think you probably have an international round trip vacation for 3 days for your wife every year. You and your wife, you know, the two of you, or your wife or your husband, you know, just alone right there. But it depends on your spending, of course. But you're definitely going to be totally stoked about all the different rewards you get. All right. Are there any questions so far? Because I'm going to start to think about anything I missed. I need to tell you some things. My mind is already working out a 6-month system to run these categories at 10% or more, then can be funneled into portfolios. Sure. Yeah. So as you can see here, they have best credit cards for charity donations. Oh, the best gas credit cards. Some of them give you, I think Amex gives you 10% back. Amex Platinum is really where it's at. That's one of the gold cards that you want to get. Let me try and show you those. So you can just look at those and salivate and go, oh, God, I want some of those. Wow. Wow. I'm just looking at this right now. Where did it go? American Express Platinum sign-up bonus. You get 100,000 points. Every point translates to a mile. So that's like 5, 6, 7, depends on where you're going. That could be between 5 and 10 round trip domestic flights right there, just on the sign-up bonus. And look at that, 10x points on gas and grocery. American Express Platinum. Holy cow. What site am I on? Dude, I told you earlier, Nicole. No, I'm going to tell you now. I'm just playing with you. Doctor of Credit. They do. But Percival, realize that the American Express Platinum card has $595 annual fee. But dude, for the right person, you're going to obliterate that. You know, for the right person, trust me, it's for the right person, that's a good deal. Okay. You don't go doing that right away. I'm trying to show you the end fucking goals here. Okay. This is like the all the way end goal is American Express Platinum. Well, there's even higher than that, but there's the black card, the American Express Platinum, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Chase Freedom Unlimited. And let's take a look at those. Here's the Chase Southwest Personal with 80,000 points. Somebody just said, I just got a new card. If I spend 15,000 in the first 3 months, I get 160,000 points. And I'll bet that whatever card you're talking about there is, those points are transferable to other cards. So you could probably transfer those to the Chase Freedom Unlimited and then multiply that into miles at 1.25x. And so you'll therefore get like 220,000 miles from that sign up bonus. And it's very easy. There's something called, you can start looking this stuff up, something called manufactured spending. If you need to, it's the Chase Free. Oh, it is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Okay, very good. That's one of the best cards you can get. Elliot is a credit card hacker too. All right, look, you can, let's say we have power outage right now. Let's say we have power outage right now. I want you to be able to continue on this journey. I'm going to give you a key to continue on this journey right now. And that is one. I'll give you a couple good tips to continue on this journey. I want you to write this down. And then after this, I'll start to go over a couple more nuances. But listen, wherever you live on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, start to follow a couple of these hashtags. This is going to increase your knowledge and your wisdom on this, like, daily. Okay, start following credit hacks, hashtag credit hacks. Okay, another one, and this is gonna be a weird word. It's a strange word, but you're going to find that it's exactly on point. It's called hashtag churning, churning, churning. And that word has changed meaning over the years. It used to mean one thing, but now it's all about people like us, what I'm explaining, who game the credit card system. And trust me, all these credit card companies want you to try and game them. They're like, bring it on, go ahead. I know you're going to get in a car accident one time. You're going to be down $10,000. You're going to miss your payment, and then you're going to go underwater for the next year. And we're going to have you at and we're going to boost your score to 27%, boost your APR to 27%. And we've got you. So trust me, don't feel bad about the fact that we're gaming them, okay? They put it all there so that they can suck you in. What you want to do is never make a mistake. Be very careful, okay? Don't get yourself underwater at all. Always zero. That's why that's the foundational principle. That's the first thing that I said at the beginning of this. Get those down to zero at the end of every day or the beginning of the next day, whenever it shows up in your account. Get those payments off and get that back down to zero from the feeding bank account. So you normally you check basically this is how you run your day. You check your bank account, make sure you're on budget to afford whatever it is you're about to spend. Not your credit cards, your bank account and your income and you know what I'm saying? Your budget, you check to make sure that you're on course with your spending from there. The credit card usage does not change the amount of money you spend in life at all. You don't ever want to get into that mentality, and it's easy to get into because eventually you're going to have a ton of credit. Jacob, are you Elliot? Elliot, how much credit line do you have? I'm going to guess that he has a massive amount. If it's too personal to share, I understand. But give him a big number at least. I have a feeling you have a big one. Total limit, 25,000. That's only the one card, but I'm talking about all in all across like total credit line limit. I'm not against like loan sharks and personal loans making it. You have no idea. Anyway, once you start this journey, it's easy to get $100,000, $200,000, $400,000, $500,000 worth of credit because, I forgot to tell you one very important hack that was actually in the little blurb I said about this class. Listen up. You will never have an 850 score, a perfect 850 score. You will never get it unless you have 21 accounts or more open. That is a little algorithm, part of the algorithm. 21, yes. And by the way, 21 is not very many. You want to eventually get, 40, 50, 70, 80 of these. When you start to get really good at this, you're going to start opening these cards for the rewards, and then you close them in a year, and you start gaming the system, and you start getting all the points and the rewards, okay? Because the sign-up bonuses are what you can be after. If you have excellent credit, there's nothing stopping you. You're allowed to close your Chase, which one did you say you had? Freedom Unlimited. You can close that, Elliot, before the fee hits. Wait a month, and then open again and start the sign up bonus again. They don't care because they know that you have to do the spending in order to get it and that you can get trapped, and it's allowed. It happens. You're allowed to do that. Now, another thing, so here's a nuance. So what was I saying is if you have any questions, no, I was trying to tell you one thing I was going to go over, and then I was going to go over into nuances. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Yeah. Questions, I guess probably now, yeah, the Sapphire for sure. There are some cards that are metal. Those are the real ultimate goals. Oh, I know what it was. I was trying to tell you, for you to write down the different hashtags to follow. Okay, so hashtag churning, hashtag credit hacks, and then definitely hashtag credit cards. Okay, if you start to choose, those are the really highly optimized ones. If you start to choose some of the other ones, you're going to go down some other trails that are not as brilliant. Those ones are the really, really good ones. Okay, but now check this out. Here's another thing you want to do in this whole like learning by yourself every day for the rest of your life now. Join some Facebook groups. There's like, I forget what it's called, Credit Hack Society or something. If they have more than 10,000 or 20,000 users, then it's a serious group. Join those groups and either be a fly on the wall or be careful when you ask questions, because newbies in those groups, they consider newbies to be fucking morons. So, you know what I mean? Like, we ask such stupid questions. Like, if I open a card with the thing and this and that, but won't that dink my credit? Dude, it's been asked 100,000 times, they're going to tell you. And people are like, can we just ban this guy? And you're going to get, you're going to get popped out of the group. So be a fly on the wall in those kinds of places. But check out the Facebook groups for that. And there's Reddits also. Those are the two huge ones. Facebook groups, look up credit. Just look up credit cards, credit hacking, churning, okay, on both Reddit and Facebook groups. And then use those hashtags, follow those on all of the social media that you normally use. And now on a daily basis, you're going to start to get tips like you cannot believe. And people are going to say, dude, right now, you got to get such and such because, the XYZ, right? So you want to know that. And then I just got to think here. And there's like a couple other tips there. Yeah, the Reddit and this website, Doctor of Credit, because you can just like dial in the most recent information. Best credit card sign up for, it gives you that. And you're like, what's the best credit card sign up for whatever? Best credit card sign up bonuses, a spreadsheet of current and recent credit card sign up bonuses for major issuers. Best cash credit card sign up bonuses. So sometimes some of your spending is going to fall into a funny category like other. That's actually a category. It's called other. You want to have a card for that. Maybe that's the card you get cash back on. So for that, you want to have an excellent cashback reward card. So now here's a cool tip that I can recommend. Have you ever seen credit card wallets? Oh, my wallet happens to be right here. Okay. See how most credit card wallets allow you to put the cards in, right? Well, if you can get yourself a credit card wallet which has the sleeves, so when you were to open it up, it has that like a fan. It's kind of like a fan, right, of sleeves, and then it has like cards all in it. And then in order to use it, you would either just open it and then pull it out, and then now you can use it. That's ideal, and let me tell you why. Okay, so do you understand? Like, can you picture which wallet I'm talking about? Yeah, those ones with the little slip sleeves, they're perfect, and this is why. Because sometimes every 2 or 3 months, one of the cards drops down. They're like, oh, we're no longer offering the gas rewards on that. Because I know, Percival, I know you were thinking, let me get a permanent marker, and on the back of this, I'm going to write gas, right? How many of you thought that? Because you're starting to develop a system here, right? You were probably going to give your wife the card and write gas on it, right? But guess what? In 3 months, that offer might change. Yeah, but that offer might change. The best grocery card can be in flux. The best gas card can be in flux. Another card might jump ahead of that card. Now what do you do? Okay, so this is why you get the sleeve wallet. And on the sleeve, at the front, on the sleeve, you write gas. And so that way you pull the one that's now the best gas one and you put it right into that sleeve. There you go. Bingo. You have your grocery slot. You have max groceries, max gas, max restaurants, max travel. If you buy an airplane ticket, you got to go somewhere, you can get a max rewards on travel purchases. That's the one you want to get for that. So then you just keep moving those into the right slots and keep up on it. So this has probably been, I mean, seriously, in 1 hour, this could change your life. I mean, moving forward, you're going to start to get so much back on your spending. And just think about all the loans and the money you're going to save on those loans for car and mortgage that you're going to save moving forward as your credit goes up. And for some of you, I have another tip, a big tip. For some of you who are at the beginning or have bad credit. Sean, I hope you're still with me. Okay. Sean, are you still listening, buddy? I don't want Sean to miss this. He may not be listening. Oh, well. I'll have to get on the playback. Okay, listen. If you want to get some extra boost on your credit score and you can do something right away. Let's say you have no credit. You can boost your credit score by becoming an authorized user of someone else's credit card. But guess what? If they have, if this could be a relative, obviously, or a friend, a good friend. But the thing is, they don't even have to give you the card or the number. They just add your name, and then you will get the benefit because they match it up, and the credit card bureaus match it up in the system because you have to enter, I think, like your birthday or one of those factors there connects it to you. You become an authorized user of their credit card, you gain their credit. So this is one of the greatest hacks. So if you're an 18-year-old kid, one of the first things you want to do is become an authorized user on your parents' cards. And it starts to build up an age history for you. So if you're a parent, you would want to do this with your 3-year-old kid. Because by the time they're 18, they're going to have a fucking perfect FICO score. You understand? So the age is a big part of this as well. Favorite no-fee card. Well, look, it changes all the time. So just go up here, best credit cards for, you can say like no fee somewhere here. You can do the searching here yourself, okay? But obviously some of the best cards are the ones that you have to pay an annual fee for. That's how you got your first card, Constantine, is by becoming an authorized user on someone else. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. But if you have zero credit or very bad credit, you can do the secured card. And, if you were to put like $100 or $200 on a secured card, maybe that's your first card or you want to use that to build credit. Again, like I said, that can be per day, not per month. It doesn't mean like, oh man, that sucks. Like a very little amount of money. No, dude, you can spend like $180 that day, pay it off in the morning or that night whenever it shows up, do it again the next day or whenever it comes across. By the end of the month, you could have gotten a lot out of that. So what you want to choose when you do choose these secured credit cards is the ones that give you the most rewards and that convert to a regular card and that have no annual fee or combinations of one or two of those things, but they have a caveat of the other. You understand? All right. And then also going way back to the beginning of the conversation is the Chase 524 rule. So you don't want to go steaming full ahead. Give it some time. Sign up for, this is an obvious one. This one is just so obvious. I probably almost forgot to mention it, but obviously sign up for creditkarma.com. Credit Karma with a K, .com. Download it on your phone, go to it on your computer, like all the time. Check how your score is changing, improving. See what's there, clean things up. Like credit repair, that's another class we can do, and it's fucking phenomenal the way you can do it. You can use the there's a government agency. You complain to them about shit, and then if the credit card companies do not resolve the issue with you, they get charged $1,500 to the government agency. So you can actually force them to clean up your credit report because they'd rather just do it. It's a whole like 2 to 4 week process, and their letters go back and forth. But it's so worth it because you can get all those negative things off your report. It's too bad Sean's not listening right now. This is perfect for you, buddy. I don't know, maybe he is listening. But if you are, you missed a little bit earlier about being added as an authorized user. So anyway, the 524 thing, get yourself your first 3 or 4 cards going, and then leave one inquiry open. Don't apply for a 5th card. And this is applications, by the way. You can only apply for 5 in 24 months. And once you pass that, Chase will reject you. And so you could be denied on 3 out of 5 of those and now only have 2 cards. Okay? So it's not how many cards you get, it's how many times you apply. So you really need to do your research. Make sure you get the most ideal, pinnacle, perfect first card, ideal, pinnacle, perfect second card, again, third, and then maybe around 4, depending on your credit score. Now, that's one of the cool things here is you can check the actual credit cards. I think I don't know if it's here. Yeah, credit scores. You can check the actual credit card for what scores they'll approve you on. So you can already know if you have a chance or not. You don't have to guess. The information is all here on Doctor of Credit, knowledge base. This might be it. I'm trying to find like credit card reference pages. This might be it. American Express. Let's go to Chase. Where would this be? Best credit cards for, let's say, sign up bonuses. Our verdict. You know what? It's another website, I think. I forget which it is, which shows you the credit scores. Let me just do a quick little search here. Credit card rewards hacking. Let's see if I can remember what the name of it is. It might be creditcards.com. Let me see. Oh gosh, there's another thing I wanted to tell you. Nicole, you still there? Maybe she's at work. Have any of you heard of something called matching, status matching? I'm just going to wait a few minutes here to see if any of you have heard of something called status matching, and don't look it up and be like, oh, I mean, never. Okay, cool. So like an example would be like, let's say you go to Vegas. How many of you have been to Vegas? How many of you are old enough to gamble and have been to Vegas or something like that? Like you've been to like the MGM suites somewhere. me. Nicole, you don't know about status matching? Seriously? Please answer. I got to hear if Nicole. No, holy shit. Okay, so listen. Let's say you have the American Express Platinum. One of those. Let's say you have an elite card of some kind, and you can actually get these cards. Okay. Status matching is you can get a bump up from, let's say, gold to platinum because you have another card that is a platinum or it's at that elite level, okay? So you can actually start to use another method, which puts a little bit of pressure on the whole system to start to get the better cards. So you can accelerate this whole process on top of that. But check this out. So let's say you go to like the MGM resorts, right? And you have, they have, what do they call, Life. They have a card, right? MGM Life. MGM. Every one of these places has those, VIP membership cards, right? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Maybe even you have some. M Life Rewards, perfect, good example, right? But you might not know they have like M Life Platinum. And if you bring them an American Express Platinum or Chase Platinum, one of the higher cards, And you just go to the desk, you go to the help desk and say, hey, listen, I've got the American Express Platinum. Can you bump me up from the M Life to the M Life Platinum and give me a match on that? You literally say, give me a match on that. The guy's gonna, if they're in the right mood, about 50% of the time, they're gonna be like, yeah, no problem, man. Because when you come in with that card, it means you're like, you've got a lot of money, right? Now, what happens when you get that is you get like access to the special lounges, you get extra discounts, you'll get like triple the rewards. And then the next time you go to another hotel, you can say, hey, look, I have M Life Platinum. See, look, we bumped it up with one card to the M Life Platinum. Now you can go over to like Hilton and be like, hey, I have the, whatever it is, I don't know, some other hotel, and you ask them to match the status of this. And you're like, and I have the platinum on this one, platinum on this one. I mean, can you match that for that? They're going to get the feeling that you're not going to like it if they say no. And so they're going to say, yeah, no problem. And then they bump you up to the next level. You get all kinds of bonuses because of that in life. You're going to start, I think, Nicole, you must have known that, because that's one of the travel hacking secrets. Maybe you didn't, but you're going to go on fire now. You're going to start to get these status matching. Oh, so I think there's literally a site called statusmatch.com. Write this one down too, guys. These are all components of your new fucking life. It's going to be incredible. No, I don't think that's it. Status Matcher, something like that. Status Matcher. There we go. Obtain elite travel status. There you go. Check it out. So you can go here. You could go to hotels, and then these M's mean that they do matching. So you can just look up that kind of thing. Oh, also, here's a good idea. Let's say you're trying to figure out which like really good card you should have for the rewards travels. You should figure out where you want to take flights from and to the most, okay? And then figure out which airlines give you like the direct flights, that kind of thing, because you're going to want to redeem your miles with that airline, and the credit card that you have, the rewards program, maybe they have 10 airlines that they allow you to purchase from. It might not have that airline. So you might have to choose a different card, which does have the airline. So this is the kind of research that you start connecting everything together. It'll take you a while to become an expert at this, but it's going to be well worth it. Any questions? Boom. Did I blow some minds? Nice. It's literally going to be life-changing for you. It's going to be life-changing for you. Business card, definitely American Express. American Express Platinum Business. Thank you very much. Susie's like, I really thought I was smart, but damn. No, I know. Probably the reason why I like teaching is because I was so clueless too once, and it's not fair for any of us to be walking around without this knowledge. I mean, this should be taught in schools. That's what school should be. It pisses me off so much that a public education should be a public government, people of the United States sponsored education. My God, if we taught people how to be business people or better employees or anything that's normal in life about real life, like, holy crap, this country would outperform the entire galaxy. All right, have a good weekend, you guys. Chase Inc. That's right, Chase Inc. Business. That is a really good one, Nicole. Yes. What do you mean by deep dives? But by the way, oh, you mean right now? Deep dives on some things? You want to hang out? Or what are you talking about, Percival? What do you mean by that? Like breaking down on general portions, general little things like the, what did I say? The nuances and stuff. I think I covered a lot of it. If you write down statusmatcher.com, doctorofcredit.com, the fact that you can go to the Reddits for churning and Okay. Sorry. Here's another hashtag you guys can follow: travel rewards, credit rewards. Those two. Follow those as well. But really, I think that this has been just a monster ass amount of information. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions, but I think that you're just going to have to start down this path and use these websites. Now you know what to do with your life when it comes to credit and money and spending, and now you and status matching and getting rewards and cash back and miles and travel, and now you got to piece it together. Yes. All right. I'm glad that Nicole learned something. I thought seriously, uh, I had nothing on Nicole. All right. Now I feel a lot better. Well, that's a great weekend tip, huh? Hey, if anybody's going to go travel this weekend, make sure you check out which card to put that on. Which one would be best? Oh, that reminds me. If you go to visarewards.com, I think you can get codes and stuff to get the perks. It's called Visa Perks, I think. Visa Perks and Offers. Look up Visa Perks and Offers. So even if you don't have like a perfect rewards card, you can already start to get some extra perks and offers if you have a Visa logoed card direct from Visa. And I think they give you like, you have to maybe buy it through them or use their code or whatever, but there is a Visa perks and offers system on Visa in case you can't take advantage of if you don't have a card that has a good rewards program. So now I need to add more to my portfolio holdings for Visa, MasterCard, AmeriExpress, and Discover. And Discover Card Financial, number one, they have the best fundamentals of those four companies you mentioned on the stock market. But Discover Card is going to be another card that you want to get. I think there can be good, best for general spending. American Express Platinum can be best for that, but they have some really good stuff too. You're going to end up having lots of cards. Remember, the goal is 21 or more. Oh, here's another hack for you. Um, let's say you were going to buy a car with cash, like you're in that situation. Maybe it's a used car, $7,000 car, something like that, 5,000. Do not buy it for cash. And not only should you also maybe not buy it with your credit cards, this is what you should do. Go get a auto loan from like a credit union because you'll get the best rates and stuff. And for that amount, get a freaking loan for that amount, buy the car with the loan, and then use the money you were going to buy the car with to pay off right away, to pay off 97% of that loan. Keep a little bit on, because if you get it down to zero, they're going to close it out. Keep a little bit on forever. If you have an auto loan with incredibly low utilization and on your credit report, that's another boost to your report. You want to have one of those. You want to have an auto loan with like next to nothing on it, like a couple $100, and you're paying like $11 a month on, or $7 a month on, which by the way, you can pay with your credit card to get the rewards on that. Do that. Mortgage and auto loan. So with auto loan, do it that way. If you were going to pay for cash, but yeah, auto loans and mortgages, you're going to end up getting you're going to get incredible rates. If you can get up to the 800s, your mortgage rates and your auto loan rates are going to be really low. And some of you were asking about business. When you, even if you have a side hustle, you are allowed to create a business side of yourself and get business. All the same cards that I just mentioned, you can start doing that with the business side as well. Like you have two entities, yourself, personal, and business. The business will not be able to look at you as a person and your credit history as a person. So like Sean, oh, he already left. Sean was has bad credit. If he doesn't have a line of business credit open, he could start doing that. And it's the same cards. They're almost all the same cards. Like American Express Platinum has an American Express Platinum business. And they have some extra cool perks that usually are for business people, like Staples and Office Depot and that kind of stuff, like discounts on that kind of stuff. You're going to start to look up like, the places that you spend, the restaurants that you go to are going to change because you're going to start to find what are the perks and participating restaurants. And like on Cash App, like I was telling you, like I'll go to Cash App right now. I'll put it on my screen and show you like what the perks are right now. Like, oh, I'm a, like, here you go. I'm a Red Lobster. Like, you're going to want to sign up. Now that you're going to get good at this, you're going to want to sign up for various places like programs. So like Red Lobster has like a rewards program. So I get on that, and every time I go to Red Lobster, I'm getting like free appetizers, and then when I pay my bill, I'm using my rewards, so I'm getting 5% cash back on that, or 5% rewards back on that. So I'm getting a discount there. And then typically I don't go to Red Lobster until there's a coupon, like in the paper, or some kind of special deal, or they're having a special deal, and I use the coupon, and you combine all of that together. So you start to get really, really good at this. Let's see. How can I show you boosts without showing you my credit card number? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. It made it go away. All right. So like, for instance, you can do this one called Anywhere. You'll get 5% back in Bitcoin on your next 3 purchases within the next 3 days, up to $7.50. So don't get carried away, but it keeps repeating. So every 3 days, you can make $7.50, which is $150 of spending because it's 5% cash back. If you do the inverse math, okay? Hey, what's up? Almost done? Yeah. So you can get, if you do $150 worth of spending on that one every 3 days, you'll get $7.50 of Bitcoin. If you're doing the spending anyway, get the Bitcoin, and that'll add up. If you were to actually game that perfectly, you could do that 10 times, you get $75 worth of Bitcoin every month. By the end of the year, that's almost $1,000 in Bitcoin cash back if you gamed it perfectly. If you come up with a little system and you figure, okay, well, no, we're going to do this on that and this and that, you'll have $1,000 in Bitcoin extra by the end of the year. All right, so that was that one. There's DoorDash, 10%. This is the big one. This is what a lot of the credit hackers like to see. Any grocery store, 10% off the purchase. So like one time, and that renews. You can just keep using that. That's a really, really good one. And like I said, when you're there, you can just grab one of those Amazon gift cards in the aisle for 25 bucks, 50 bucks. If you know, like in the next month or two, you're going to buy something on Amazon, you get that. It costs $3 to load it with the money, but you're going to get 3%, to load it with the money. Actually, I think there's a maximum on that of like $3 load fee. So that can work out if you get like the $100 ones. And then you get between 7 and 9% difference on the 10% cash back by loading those up. Cash App, yeah. Chick-fil-A, 10%. Starbucks, come on. Some of you go to Starbucks. I know you do. You shouldn't, but you do. I know you do. I bet Nicole does. And am I right or am I wrong? I'm very curious. But that's 10% cash back at Starbucks. And they have all kinds of gift cards and stuff at Starbucks. So you can literally buy more than you need at Starbucks that one time. Get the 10% cash back, right? Get some Starbucks cards. And next time you go to Starbucks, use the Starbucks gift cards that you just loaded up with them right there. And you got 10% back. And now you're buying your next purchase with the gift card money that you got 10% cash back on. Everything in that store at Starbucks, anything you buy in that store, maybe that changes you. Maybe you decide to get your ground coffee from the actual Starbucks store now because you can get the 10% off. But don't go in there without a coupon too to top it off, right? Or some kind of discount, or ask for something special here and there. Combine everything. For me, I'm in Texas, so we got Whataburger, 10% discount off each purchase. Download Cash App. Torchy's Tacos. The United States Postal Service, they dropped it to 10%. It was 20% last week. 20% back at the United States Postal Office. If you had anything you needed to send, I think probably for the holidays they had that boosted way up. And Venmo just launched a reward program. I think it was yesterday. So if you stay on these streams in your social media, you're gonna stay on top of all this. Okay? What do you think, guys? My wife is calling me to be done with this. All good? Are you guys credit hackers now? Did I turn you into credit hackers? All right. All right, guys. Yes, thank you. Great. Okay, good. All right. All right. Have a great weekend, and I wish you, the best. And I'll see you on Monday. Okay. Bye-bye now. Remember, no extra spending. No extra spending.